Richard, let me let you jump in there. I'm going to get specific in a moment in terms of what's happening in this article in today's Wall Street Journal, and also same topic covered in New York Times today. But let me get your opinion in terms of what you think voters will be looking for tonight. Who will be the key demo that these candidates will be speaking to, and what do those folks want to hear?
Well, out of the starting block, it's very important that Newt Gingrich goes in tonight understanding that he could possibly be the nominee for the President of the United States of America. He has to come in looking very presidential and not like, the happy warrior. And I think he has to come in a little bit harsher and say, listen, if I were president, I'd do X, I would do Y, I would do Z. For Mitt Romney, on the other hand, I think because he's slipping as a front runner, he spends so much time on cruise control that he's now going to have to take control of this plane and really sort of steer this plane in the direction and show the Republicans in Iowa that he really means business and he's not about, staying on cruise control. For the tier 2 candidates, like your Michelle Bachmans, your John Huntsmans, your Rick Santorums,
and don't leave out Ron Paul.
And Ron Paul, who, has a really good shot in Iowa. Yes. They're really going to have to turn the volume up and show voters why they might be the alternative. If you want to get above the fray and stop the bickering and fighting between these two these career politicians, then the move is for us tier 2 candidates. All
righty, because you can't discount Ron Paul. You've got in terms of predictions for tonight, you've got Newt at 23%. You've got Romney at 20%, and Ron Paul right there at 18%. So that's right behind there. So let's get specific. I told you I was going to bring up the Wall Street Journal article today. Romney steps up attacks on rivals. Romney is planning to drive home his message that Gingrich is unpredictable and unprepared for the White House. Again, Mary Catherine, I think you said that before Romney was being too peevish. He's got to step it up. He's planning to. So will this approach work?
Well, like I said, it's tricky. He's got to walk that line. He does have to step it up. He's right. They've been on cruise control, and I think they've shown that they weren't quite predicting this Newt rise, and Newt has done a good job, frankly, of showing that he's not all that unpredictable. He hasn't made a lot of big mistakes, and Mitt Romney's job is to sort of get him to a point where he does make some mistakes, and that has yet to happen. But I do think that Mitt needs to change direction a little bit. I don't think he's going to continue to win by just jogging along as the presumptive nominee. The trick is to do it without looking like the angry guy.
Specifically, though, then what should he do, Mary Catherine? I mean, I think part of what you're talking about is tone, but in terms of message, what should he do? Both of those points.
Well, I think he does need to talk about, if I were him, I would talk about recent apostasies by Newt Gingrich. Don't go way back pre-94. People have known Newt for a long time. Many people think of him as a solidly conservative part of the movement, and he certainly has been. But on things like, for instance, the endorsement of Didi Scozzafava in a special election in New York really made conservative activists mad. The sitting on the couch with Nancy Pelosi obviously made them very mad. And the discussion of Paul Ryan's budget as right-wing social engineering, people really felt like that was a punch in the gut. Mitt's got a lot of money to spend in Iowa. Reminding people of those things, or at least talking about it, seems to me a way to say, hey, do you remember some of the things this guy's done that's made you mad? But people have been rallying around Newt in the face of attacks like that, so I'm not sure it'll work.
But Richard, picking up there, I mean, Mary Catherine has a point in terms of, hey, look, don't go too back into the well and pull up old baggage, if you will, because people already know about it. They're ready to move on. But hey, isn't there a younger sector of voters who perhaps don't know some of the history they're involved with Mr. Gingrich, and perhaps that it may serve Romney well to bring that out in the open?
Well, I think it's very important that Romney brings it out in the open. I think the good thing for Romney is that with both him and his super PAC that's connected to him, they're going to spend $3.6 million on ad sales in Iowa over the next 2 weeks. That's where you put out your negative message on the television, on the airwaves, in the newspaper, and mailers. In this debate, Romney has to show himself as being the presumptive nominee. He has to sort of rise above the fray and say, listen, everybody else is a crabs in a barrel, and what I'm here to do is say that I'm the front runner. This is what we have to do to beat President Obama in the general election. And I think that is the strategy that Romney has to have, is more so being that I am the front runner, not the cruise control, but more so I'm an active front runner. I'm out here. I'm trying to win this. If we all work together, we can beat Obama, which is highly unlikely. They won't beat the president. But, that's the message they should have.